to have some of the pioneers here with us tonight in the clinic project that was at Paraguay, which is John Mast. So we've asked just a couple of them to share, just been trying to get John Mast the most time, since he was there at the beginning and he was also there at the closing of the clinic, and which was quite interesting for him, I'm sure. Not too often that you see the beginning and the end of something, but it's not necessarily wrong in mission work to complete a job. You know, we have life and we like to complete a lot of things in life. So we have a number of folks here that will be sharing a little bit, and then we also want to have a little bit of interaction. So for those of you that work at the clinic, we'd like for you to come over here and stand over here. So all of you that work there as singles or as married and administrators, if you work there as a single and your husband didn't, then just you go up. But if you work there as husband and wife, then both of you go up. So basically it is for those who work at the clinic or were there as couples. So hopefully it, to save a little bit of space, we're not asking everybody to go up. So all of you come over here that either work there as couples or if you work there as a single. And of course, the quicker we can do this, the quicker that we can get it done. Then we have just a couple things that we want to kind of take a look at. And so, for those of you that were there as administrators, can you come up front? Come in the front of everybody else. Okay? For those of you that worked as administrators, just make a row here in the front. Now, I don't know if you can line it up in the order that you did. We know John Mast was the first one. Okay? And since we have a little bit, since we don't have a mic, that it was just kind of interesting to see who the last one that was administrator is not here. But we have John Mast, he was the first one, and then Albert. There was two of in between you, David Beachy and just David Beachy. Okay, so there was David Beachy's that were, and you served 6 years, right? 4. And David Beachy's, I think, served 6 years. And then Albert served till almost 3 years, and Simon's till they could find another one, and then Simon Schrock's, which they're not here, and then Aaron's replaced Simon's, right? And then who was in between you? Okay, so you replaced Aaron's, then we replaced Loyal's, and Delbert's Slaybaws were in between Paul's and us, and then you replaced Paul's, right? And then who was in between? Okay, Daniel, and then you replaced Daniel. Okay, Lindford. So there's 2 of them missing there, and then Maynard's, and then Rick and Alette, right? So there was a total of, if I have it correctly, a total of 14. Does that make sense? I think that's pretty close to it. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 representation of administration. Now, how many of you served as single fellows? Okay, so I think there was just 2 of them that served as single fellows. Okay? Now, you all are welcome to sit down if you want, or stand behind the others to support them. Okay, the next ones that we want to line up is all the boys that served as maintenance men. You line up in the front here. Now, Paul, you have to go back up. Okay, so everyone that served as maintenance or, sorry, I should include the school teachers in there. The maintenance men and the school teachers of the fellas. Okay, so there's a good representation, and like was mentioned, Albert and Paul were two of them that served as maintenance, and then later years went back to service administration, which is an interesting, noteworthy. A lot of times some would say, well, you know, what we did was enough, but they were willing to go back and serve some more. Okay, so you can't be dismissed. Okay, now the group that we have left either served as cooks or nurses or doctors or in the, you know, had, so let's line up all the cooks first that served as cooks. Now the reason I had the cooks come up first is because they're the fault for all the ones that have weight problems now. Okay, I guess most of them were introduced. It's Esther and, forget your name, Judy, Katie, Ruth, and Dorcas, Doris, sorry. Some of you, I forget your names, so. Brenda and Mabel, Carrie and Carol. Okay, very good. Food is an important thing. You got to remember that you got to have food when you're on the mission field. There's a lot of visitors, and there's a lot of time spent making food because that's a very important job. So I guess you can be dismissed, the ones that were cooks. Okay, now the ones that served as teachers. Okay? AMA also provided, in later years, some teachers, so we had four of them that served as teachers. Okay? You can be dismissed. Okay, now, how many of you worked as nurse's aide or in the medical part but weren't registered as a nurse? Can you all line up? Okay. So, even though they maybe not necessarily had a registered license, there's always a need for for nurses aid and for that. So we had quite a number of them that did that. And I guess we'll just skip since there's a whole bunch of you. But we appreciate you coming and representing that part of the staff there. Okay? You can be dismissed. This is called a process of elimination. Okay, now all the registered nurses. all those that had some degree in nursing or when you went to Paraguay. Okay, now there was a whole lot more. I mean, they'd be pretty tired if it just be these two. But there was quite a number, but we appreciate you representing. There's a lot of people that have left a good job and went to serve on the mission without having pay. So, and let's see, there's only one more left, right? Okay. Right. And we only had one doctor that showed up.
But I'll have you know that he caused a lot of trouble.
Well, but if you fix a lot of problems, so it's often hard to get a doctor to go to the mission field. I don't know, they probably make too much money. But Laverne was willing to go and be the doctor there. So I think, did we cover everybody? So a big thank you to all of you former workers that were there to make it possible.